Mark Stoufiar. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today at Next Broadcast Media.
Pleasure.
So tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so I had the marketing for Virtuzone. We're a homegrown UAE-based company, been in the market for 15 years. We do primarily company setup. We help entrepreneurs set up their businesses in the UAE. We help them move their businesses to the UAE. And we offer a range of additional services, corporate services such as tax and accounting, bank account opening. So we're a one-stop shop to help entrepreneurs build their future in the UAE.
Amazing, yeah. I'm aware of Virtuzone and the work that you guys do. It's great. So you guys have become one of the most recognizable companies in the UAE when it comes to company setup. How do you guys keep up with your competition in the market?
We keep innovating. We have a strong focus on marketing. We've built quite a good reputation in the market. Obviously, we have a very high top-of-mind awareness. We've done a lot of marketing efforts in terms of our radio advertising, digital advertising. So we keep innovating and making sure that we're at the forefront,
growing.
basically.
Yeah. Amazing. So staying on the marketing topic, what do you focus on in terms of Virtuzone and your team? What are the main kind of channels that you focus on?
No, primarily we're very performance driven. Obviously, we have targets to meet and we have to support our sales teams as well. So we do focus a lot on the lower end of the funnel, but we also obviously do some awareness, marketing or campaigns.
From a global perspective, right?
Yes. So we're quite active on radio advertising. We have our own show actually on one of the business radio channels here in the UAE. It's been going for a couple of years, and I think this created
a strong foundation.
A strong foundation for us on radio, and it gave us this platform to, not only promote our services, but engage with different people from within the industry, and obviously engage our clients as well to be part of that sort of ecosystem.
Yeah, really interesting. So going back to the radio, because radio, a lot of advertisers don't actually utilize radio or audio. So what made you go into that space? And also, have you ever considered podcast or other types of audio advertising?
Yeah, I think it's the dynamic of the market here, and the roads are always busy. People are on the move, so obviously radio is a key medium.
Yeah.
And for us, it's done well historically, especially with the show. It gave us, as I said, a platform to the right audience, basically.
So when you're commuting, do you listen to radio yourself?
Yes, I do. Yeah. So we're on some of the top channels. The show caters to a specific audience, but basically it works for us. And it's good for awareness, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered podcast
advertising? I think we've tested that historically, but I think while the results were good in terms of the numbers and obviously impressions, and I think it gave us good awareness, but probably not very targeted. And I think the next level for us would be, if we consider that again, is to see how targeted we can be in terms of the choice of the shows, which shows work well in this part of the world, because obviously it's very fragmented and you have so many podcasts coming from all over the world. So obviously we do want to also target audiences that want to move to the UAE, and we want to educate them, but at the same time it has to be relevant to the show, right?
Exactly.
So I think if we can crack that and somehow link it to the lower end of the funnel and conversions, and that would probably make a bit more sense for us.
And with obviously going back to the conversion side of things, when it comes to audio, a lot of advertisers may think that's quite impossible. How do you actually track conversions when it's audio or when it's podcast? But technology has innovated so much that there is a possibility. There's always a possibility to track conversions, to track performance-driven campaigns, even on podcasts and audio. So that's something, a great point actually, and a really misconception as well when people think about audio and podcast advertising. Especially they're like, oh, we have most of our campaigns are performance-driven. How do I track conversions? But you can. A lot of companies like ourselves at Next Broadcast Media, we have integrations with all the major MMPs where you can actually track who visited your site, who actually clicked on apply for a visa, let's say, for example. So all of that is definitely possible.
That's good. And you speak about, obviously, technology, and we saw the presentation today from your team, and there was a section where he spoke about how AI is integrated and how you can now create content on the go, right? Again, technology is obviously...
it's innovated a lot, especially with AI now. With like you said, within the Ads Manager tool, we have an audio creation tool where you can create your own audio ads within 5 minutes in every dialect, every language, every voice, any voice.
Fantastic.
With music in the background, whatever your preference is. So and then there is very low production costs as well.
That's true.
Compared to your generic digital media display and video campaigns. But yes, I think, Mark, another question for you is, do you listen to podcasts?
I do. You want to ask which one? It's one of my favorites is Joe Rogan show.
Okay, I've heard that a lot today.
Yeah, so I listen to it a lot on the way to work, and I always, stop and resume because they're quite long.
Yeah, he can go on for like an hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, sometimes his episodes. But they're still very engaging.
True.
In 3 words, how would you describe podcast?
I think podcasts are, number one, very engaging. 2, I think if you sort of build a connection with the presenter of the podcast or the theme of the podcast, I think there becomes some sort of a connection, continuity, and you keep coming back and you want to, listen to more and wait for the next one. And I think there's obviously a lot of potential in that, as long as if your objective is to be a bit more targeted, to choose shows that are relevant to you and
to your audience,
that actually make sense, rather than just plastering your ads everywhere, basically.
Well, Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to know
same
you
here.
and more about Virtuzone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the chat today.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, thanks a lot.